Hello, everyone. Today I have three spirit stories to read to you sent in by a lady named Shirley. The first one is titled Old Man. I had to run to town to the local Dollar General to pick up a few items for the house. As I was leaving the store, I seen a small old little dog in the parking lot roaming around unattended. I opened my car door and spoke to the little dog and said, "Get in, you. Want to ride with me?" The little dog, who later figured out to be a male, hopped into my car and we both headed for my home. I posted a picture of him with a small blurb looking for his owners on Facebook. Seeing as he was an older dog and small, I didn't want him to get ran over in that parking lot. After some time, his owners were located and he was returned to them. About a year later, I ran across a free to a good home ad with a picture of the same small old little dog on Facebook. His owners were having a baby and were looking for a better fitting home for him. So I jumped at the chance and messaged them. A few hours later, Old Man was back safe and sound with me. He clattered all around the house with his nails, making tap, tap, tap noises everywhere on the floor. He fit right in, and he became my best companion after that. I had him for several years, but as age snuck up upon us, so did his health decline. Finally, it was time for him to cross the Rainbow Bridge. So late at night, we buried my best friend under a beautiful full moon on a cold night. Months passed, and my heart ached for my friend. And then one day, as my niece was visiting and we were sitting there gossiping and talking, we heard the distinct noise of nails clapping across my kitchen floor, just like Old Man sounded. "Old Man!" I exclaimed, and at the same time we both turned and looked. Sitting there was my cat Rocket, who never makes a sound, looking up at me. Rocket's nails never go tap, tap, tap. I just know that that was Old Man back visiting me. And I also believe that his soul entered my cat Rocket that day. Because ever since then, Rocket will come when called, and he even has dog-like tendencies. I still miss Old Man, but I get a sense of peace whenever Rocket is near. The second story is titled Granny. My son's girlfriend's mother passed away, and a few months later, her house came up for rent. Since it was right behind my son's house and his girlfriend owned it, I decided to jump on the chance at living closer to my grandbabies. I moved in and all was well, and then one day myself and one of my grandchildren were cleaning the house and we both seen a figure walk across the front porch. As we waited for a knock on the door, nothing came. I walked to the door, opened it, and looked around outside. To my surprise, no one was there or anywhere around. After that incident, another one happened. The door to a room opened and closed all by itself. No one was around the door, inside or out. One day, a friend of mine named Laverne was over visiting, and she too seen a figure cross the front porch to the front door. She told me that someone was at the door, but when I went to the door, no one was there. Finally, I sighed and exclaimed out loud, "Granny," which was what everyone called my son's girlfriend's deceased mother. "If this is you, you're welcome to come in and sit a spell, but please, no surprising or scaring me or anyone, okay?" Since then, I have moved, but I do believe that it was Granny coming back to visit and check on her house. And the last story is titled Daddy. About 2 years ago, my son was having a tough time in life. He had some major life changes going on, and as a mother, I couldn't help but to stress and to worry for him. A parent's love is unconditional. One night, I was standing on my front porch and heard my name, Shirley Lee, being called. No one ever calls me by that name but my father, who has been passed for several years. The voice sounded muffled and male. It gave me chills and made my skin tingle. The next night, I was standing on my porch, and way up the driveway, I seen a figure standing by my garbage can. The thing is, the person was see-through and looked just like my dad. It caught me off guard, but I was totally perplexed and scared at the same time. Then a door opened and shut by itself in the hallway. The next day, my son's life picked back up, and everything became normal again. I think it was my dad from beyond letting me know that everything was going to be okay and that he was going to be watching all over us. Now, ladies and gents, and in between, have any of you had any spiritual stories ghost happenings? Anybody or any animal come back from the other side to speak to you? If so, email me at lakaya7582@gmail.com and tell me your story, and maybe your story will be featured on the next video. Until then, blessings.